We shouldn't spread lies about H.R. Giger having
intercourse with a
vacuum, yes.
Intercourse.
Okay.
With 5 vacuums at once.
All right. Hello and welcome to Negative Space, a podcast
This
where
is our 4th intro.
art students talk about art. Today we are going to continue the trend of not talking about art.
It's a really good show.
We're very good at sticking to the topic, aren't we? Yeah. We have a special guest today. You want to say hi, Nick?
Hi, I'm Nick. Hi, Nick. Hey, I'm not an art student. That's why I'm here, because I don't talk about art.
Relatable.
Well, anyways, I have no idea how to follow that up.
The moral of this episode, be a follower, not a leader.
Oh.
That's a bad moral.
Be a leader, not a follower. Is that a good moral?
It's a mediocre moral.
Follow your heart.
What does it
running
mean?
away!
Oh, God. Today, our topic was going to be stress and stress management, because God only knows that's something that we've been...
Would I be without you? It's a song!
What?
God only knows.
Oh, I did not
By
know
the Beach
that.
Boys.
I'm sorry. I don't know a single thing, my man.
You should listen to Pet Sounds. Keep talking about Pet Sounds, man.
The best way man stress is listening to the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
On a lonely night.
genuinely true.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a great way to cry.
Oh,
Yeah, they're
really?
very...
The Beach Boys?
Pet Sounds is such a melancholy and, like, sad, but still, like, in the end, kind of hopeful album. That it gives you, like, hope for the future, even though things are not feeling so great right now.
Oh, so welcome back after 4 months of complete silence.
4 months? What are you talking about? It's been, like, a week. This is the week after the last one went out.
When we talked about New Year's resolutions,
Uh-huh.
right? Absolutely. I think this is going to be an explicit episode. So
There's going to be bad words.
It's going to be a saucy episode.
There's going to be bad topics.
it's going to be naughty.
No, we're going to try to not do bad topics.
No.
Not that we're doing a great job in the first place, but...
There's going to be bad people saying bad things.
But feel free to not listen if you would rather not hear some bad words.
Don't play this in front of your kids unless you want them to grow up screwy.
Like me.
Like me. Like us.
Hey, man.
Like just me and Simone.
Just us.
Just us
We're
kids.
the weird ones. You're pretty...
Am I, go on.
I heard the F word once when I was 5. That messed me up forever.
Yeah.
Dang, what does it mean if I heard it, like, 50?
Were you about to go for 5 there?
I honestly didn't know what number to go for because it's an innumerable number of times I've heard that in my life.
Number 1.
So our topic today was going to be
Hey.
stress and stress
Questions.
management. And I guess that's something we can all relate to because we all are...
Human?
I was going to say...
Dancers.
Yeah. We'll go with that one.
I mean, we all went to high school in a pretty stressful environment, and we've been continuing that trend, it seems, going into college. So
Then we
I
go
think
to higher school in an even more stressful
Yeah,
environment.
well, it's the same shit.
Higher
you know?
school.
There's our first bad word.
Oh,
ding, ding, ding.
I'm the
You
winner.
you get 1 point.
We should start counting.
Uh-huh.
Where's the tally board?
Who's the naughtiest boy
Where's
here?
the tally board? Because we have that.
I don't... just in general.
If
Here,
you
I'll
can
keep-
guess who the naughtiest
just keep-
person
I'll keep
on
it on the
this
show
podcast
notes.
is,
Cool.
you
I'll
win a free
make
car.
my letter Z
All right.
because I'm cool.
Does anyone want to explain our high school to any, so that people who are listening who don't know a single darn thing about any of us have some idea about what we're talking about?
Are they going to locate us?
You go. I'm
Yeah.
putting tally marks on a Google Doc.
Nice.
If you all want to know where we live, we all went to Monte Vista High School.
Ah! No, the police are gonna find us. Wait, police? No. What are the bad men on the internet? What are they doing?
Oh no.
The doxing duo.
The doxing. The doxers will find us.
Derek and Derriere.
Oh
The
boy.
two most dangerous doxers on the
Derriere,
internet.
my favorite ass doctor.
Oh,
That's another one,
2
Simone.
points for Simone.
Wait, ass isn't a bad word.
Now, 3 points.
3.
Stop poking me.
Yeah. So anyway, We all went to high school in a pretty stressful environment, so if we know anything about stress, it probably started young.
Not for me.
That's right.
I'm a newcomer.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're Virginian.
You're gonna call me virgin. Yes, I am Virginian/Washingtonian.
Monte Vista's so stressful that even people from New York know how stressed we are.
Really?
Yeah, no, I met someone.
I thought you were
They've heard
talking about
us.
me, and I was gonna say Virginia is nowhere close to New York. But yes, go on.
Even the Virginians know. No, we're apparently nation renowned for how stressed out we are.
Cool.
Amazing.
That is probably not great.
We have a community-wide Tiger Mom culture that affects a large proportion of our students.
Yeah. No, it was funny. I was talking to one of my teachers too, and I told him, "Oh yeah, I mean, he asked me how like art center was for me, and I was like, yeah, you know, it's really not that bad compared to high school. It's about the same, honestly." And he was like, "Oh, where'd you go to high school?" And I said, "Oh yeah, I went to Monte Vista and Cupertino." And he just gives me the knowing look and he nods. He's like, "Yeah, we've had some students from Monte Vista come through art center."
It's just bad.
Yeah, it depends on how you look at it, I guess. Like it depends on what kind of person you are, I think.
I mean, I'm thankful that I went through it because it kind of, you know, it got me. It gave me some experiences that I'm thankful for. Like, I'm more effective, I think, at working and, like, getting ready for school. Because Monte Vista is very college-esque, you know? So, it's just...
Yeah.
A lot of people who went to Monte Vista also just had a lot of resources at their disposal.
Yeah.
I
didn't.
Not having to work during high school, things like that. A majority of the students don't have to do. And so an overbearing load like what Monte Vista's got, that can't be fun for everybody. It isn't.
Yeah. Like I said, it just like depends on the person, you know, like some people who tend to be like just good at school do
Not
okay.
me.
Like not necessarily a measure of like how smart you are, just how good you are at doing well in the public school system.
Yes.
Like, you know, they can get a lot out of it, but other people not so much.
Yeah. I'm not like, you know, I'm not that great at the school system. Like, I do fine. I get passing grades and I can, like, you know, get through it all. But, like, I'm not an A+ student, unlike our friend Samantha Shea.
What are you talking about?
Who is just good at things for some reason.
Cooking. Or
Maybe she was
dancing,
born with
apparently. Simone apparently has serious doubts about my dancing ability that I don't know where they came from.
Hey,
but
listen,
I'm a little bit offended, even though I can't defend myself.
This has nothing to do with you, and it has to do with not dancing regularly, so how do you know? How do you know that you're good at dancing?
That's why I said I can't defend myself.
Exactly. Like, I know I'm not good at dancing. I don't feel it in my bones. I don't feel that I would be good at dancing. I can see Nick being very good at dancing.
Nick is good at dancing.
I've ripped so many pants dancing. I've dropped my ass too hard to the floor so many times.
Give him a tally.
I get a point.
He gets a naughty point.
I get 1 naughty point. Someone still has 3 naughty points.
Is naughty a naughty word?
Ooh, naughty.
Depends on the context.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think in this case it's okay.
Okay.
Especially because it's the specific word we're using to differentiate the naughty words between the not naughty words.
Yeah. Otherwise, you would have just earned yourself 3 tallies.
Yeah, I mean, it would
We'll
just be
let
an
it
endless
slide.
loop. Like, we'd have to call it out every time it happened.
Yeah.
And there would just be more and more points piling up, so it can't be.
I realized that Nick, you never really introduced yourself properly,
Oh.
other than your name.
No, let's not introduce him.
Oh, he's just the mystery.
He's just our enigmatic voice. That
Oh.
is, he's omnipotent.
I'm
Yeah.
bass boosted, baby.
Yeah, see?
he's not actually here. It's
Yeah.
just his spirit.
I'm dead.
No, he's in
Traversing-
the
No.
he's in the
Not
other
dead.
room,
Yeah.
and the bass of his voice just travels through the table and into the microphone. That's what's happened
Yeah,
here.
he's a sort of, like, monster, actually. So the only way that we can record him without it, like, breaking the system is from another room.
Yeah,
Neither-
he's like one of the seraphim. If you looked at him in his full glory, you would just burn up and die.
Neither Sam or Simone actually know I'm here. I'm just editing my voice into the file as it streams.
Exactly. Anyways, how's college been for you, Nick?
Oh, It's been a wild time. It's turned me into a wild boy.
You're already a wild child.
You didn't know that.
What do you mean I didn't know that? Of course I knew that.
I wasn't as much of a wild boy before college, though.
You had the potential in you.
Oh.
Nobody was surprised by how you changed when you went to college. Let's put it that way. We all went, yeah, Nick had
That
it
would
in
have
him all
happened.
along.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is Nick's true form evolving.
It's just being revealed.
Oh.
You were fabulous all along.
Oh. Yeah, I'm going to school in Portland.
Yeah.
I'm becoming a wild pansexual.
Yes.
Is that a bad word?
Pansexual or wild?
Both.
Neither?
Okay.
How do you think college compares to high school? Like, is it as stressful, or do you think it's more stressful, or is it different? Just different?
I think in comparison to Monte Vista, academic-wise, it's pretty similar, but there's definitely less of a race to be stressed out as there was at Monte Vista.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in the good old high school days, kids would snatch your test right from under you and look at your test score and then laugh in your face. If they scored better than you, or they just quietly pass it back and they scored a little bit worse.
Did that actually happen?
Oh yeah.
Everybody
Oh
knew
my
everyone
God.
else's grades, it felt like, in Monte Vista.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you knew exactly how they were doing. Or, like, you would just, like, look at a person and, like, try to figure out and, like, just assume what their grade level was, which is really messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just kind of how it worked. You know?
Well, over at college, people are just trying to intellectually outdo each other or smoke weed and finish with class.
Yeah.
And just graduate, which is, like, it's a much nicer feel to it.
Well, I think that the difference between high school and college is that people in college actually want to be there.
Fair, yeah.
You know? It's like it's like one of the things that like blows your mind sometimes in college. It's like, yeah, I could just not show up to class and the professor doesn't care. But wait a minute, what if I want to show up to class?
Yeah.
And the teacher doesn't give a shit, you know? It's like, if you're not there, then like they don't care, but it's your education. You're the one paying for it, so it's like, why would you not go?
Yeah, you're paying for a service. You're gonna be
In some
alone
ways,
for a
that's more
decade.
stressful, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Are you showing him memes?
Just showing him
It's a big Yoshi.
Big Yoshi.
What if I want to see the memes?
It's not a meme, it's just Big Yoshi.
It's Big Yoshi.
Oh, I have to open it up again. There's gonna be
okay.
dead air on the podcast, but it's okay. 'cause
Hey.
I'm so excited.
Hey-o.
Thank you. Can you
Yep.
send me that so I
Yo.
can put it in the show notes? Just for those people who just really needed to see Big Yoshi.
Oh, Hollow's gonna be famous.
Yeah.
Mm. Big Yoshi.
What about you, Simone? Is college more stressful for you? Or is it about the same as high school? Or is it less?
It is, I think, equivocally stressful, but for totally different reasons, right? Because when I was in high school, I don't know, my parents were there all the time, right? And they were, like, very, like, helicopter-y, like, you know, kind of bearing down on me a lot to, like, get stuff done. And they were always kind of breathing down my neck, which wasn't entirely unappreciated because, let's face it, like, I probably wouldn't have done, like, half of my work if they didn't. But, you know, that still stressed me out regardless of whether it was helpful or not. And now that I'm in college, what's stressing me out is just, like, getting the will to go to class. Because even though I want to be there, the amount of energy that I have to exert to, like, get there or, like, do the work that I have to do outside of class is, like, so much where it's just, like...
Yeah, I mean, in high school, it's like, there's, like, a lot of external pressures that are trying to motivate you to do well. And then in college, it's your own, like, you realize that, like, everything's up to you now. Like, if you mess up, then it's, like, it's on you. Like, nothing's gonna stop you, or nothing's gonna catch you.
Yeah. Once you reach college, you have now taken control of your own life.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that puts a lot of pressure on, like, how you spend your time and what you spend your time doing.
Yes, especially if you, like, grew up like I did, where my parents, like, didn't really let me do any of my own things, and they still kind of don't. So it's, like, hard for me to, like, actually get used to having to do this stuff because they never gave me the chance, right? Even if I wanted to. Like, there was things that I wanted to take responsibility for, and they just wouldn't let me. So that, like, you know, has negatively impacted, like, my transition to, like, being an individual human being. I think I'm doing just fine just because feel like I'm relatively emotionally mature, but it's still hard, you know?
I feel like everyone's increasingly stressed out. I feel like everyone I talk to is stressed out all the time now.
Yeah.
I know, like, the aspect of self-care has become emphasized sort of universally to a much greater extent recently, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
Sort of making sure you eat well as well as take care of yourself in ways beyond just the responsibility. Sort of remembering that it's good to have time to just play video games or sleep and sleep. And sleep
Sometimes
more.
you just feel so guilty about it, though.
Yeah, I know. Like, I feel guilty about sleeping, and I just can't play video games. Like, I listen to streams all the time, but, like, I have to be doing something else at the same time, or else I feel like I'm just wasting my time.
Like, objectively,
You know?
you can understand that it's healthy, but at the same time, you could just also just be doing something else, and that never really leaves your mind.
Yeah. So, as much as I love video games, that's why I'm, like, never playing them, because I always feel like, you know, I'm wasting my time. Shouldn't be playing video. My parents are yelling in my head a little bit.
I think that's definitely something that came from Monta Vista, I feel.
Oh, the video game thing?
Sort of you need to spend your time in an effective
In an effective
efficient
way. Yeah.
And I've, like, tried to beat that out of my head being in college, which has made me, like, a lot less efficient for work, but also a generally happier person.
I guess it depends.
It would make me
on-
happy to be efficient.
I don't know. I think this transitions a little bit into our next topic, which I was talking to one of my teachers last term who was, his class is kind of famous for being a lot of work. His name is Bob Cotto. He's the teacher I did that master copy for, which is like a 50-hour project that you have to do in a week. And I was talking to him at the end of term because he does reviews with you. He looks over all of your work over the term, and basically if you have questions, like, you know, about not just, like, his class, but, like, all about, like, life and stuff, because he gives lots of good advice. I basically asked him about, like, finding balance, and the reply he gave me was kind of interesting because he said, your life doesn't have to be balanced right now. Well, he was talking really specifically about Art Center because he said, what you're doing right now is you're investing in your future, so you're not going to be comfortable right now at all. And that's kind of the point. Like, you have to put in your time, and then you have to put in the time now in order to be able to, you know,
Reap the rewards later.
Yeah. And I don't know. Yeah, I totally understand. And that's, like, the whole culture of Art Center, too, is to just push yourself really, really hard while you're there, because it's not... He told me, he was like, yeah, you know, like, finding balance is something that you should worry about once you're out of school. And some people don't find balance once they leave school, and that becomes a problem later, because you don't have, like, if you keep working, like, it's completely unsustainable, the amount of pressure that you're on when you're in school. It's completely, like, you can't maintain it for more than, you know, like, 4 years or 5 years or however long it is. And people who get out of school and aren't able to stop doing that have a problem. But, like, I don't know, what do you think? Do you think it's healthy to put in, like, all of the effort now and maybe to maybe not have to put in that much effort later?
I mean, I'm not sure. I can't speak on how healthy it is, but regardless, it is an effective mode of operation. And if you can trust yourself to, like, get out of that mentality after you get out, I think that you will be fine, honestly. Like... And I wish that I could adopt that mentality, but, like, I go to, like, a normal school, so it's, you know, I can't do the same thing. It's a bit different.
Do you feel like the time that you spend, like, on building skills alone, do you spend a similar amount of time on building connections with, like, people within the college or outside the college?
Yeah,
as well?
sure. I mean, it's like, just, it's not... Like, the people you are in school with now are going to be the people who are going to be in the industry when you leave, you know? So just being around these people and having gone through school with them just in general is already a connection that you have. And once you leave school, you know, all these people are going to go all over. They're going to get jobs in, you know, whatever field they're going to get jobs in. So, yeah. And, I mean, you're building connections with your teachers, too. A lot of them work in the industry. You know, people are getting internships when they're not in term. So, yeah, it's not just building skill. I mean, when you're in term, that's the focus, really. But once you're... the little time that you do have outside of school and schoolwork, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm really jealous of that environment that you have because like where I am right now, I'm not taking any of the actual art courses, and so I can't really build connections with anybody. And I also feel like a lot of the art students at my school are like not entirely serious about it as much because like a lot of them just seem like, you know, rich kids that are just doing an art major just to get a college degree and they just, you know, want to do whatever. But you know, I'm like personally like really serious about getting into the industry. So I feel like I'm not building I actually feel like I'm building a lot more connections online and like talking to other artists online rather than like in real life. And you know, I want to be building connections in person too, but I feel like I haven't really gotten the chance to do so.
I think that's also like a good amount of communication. It's just like working outside of your campus too, because you're meeting people all over if you're communicating with them online. And that's sort of like an interesting comparison with sort of what I've been sort of taught at school, is that there's definitely like the huge workload that Reed is like well known for. Reed College is the one I go to. Heyo. If there's anyone
slowly dropping hints about you as we go through the episode.
You're slowly becoming a corporeal being.
But I know one of the things that's been really emphasized by both by teachers as well as like general counselors and things is to focus less on the schoolwork alone and more on the people that you meet, which has been a weird change for Monte Vista, and especially because I definitely changed the direction of my life going into college, because I was like a STEM major all the way through my entire life until I was 20. And now I'm a sociology major, which is a big shift, and now I have to like completely rethink sort of what if the skills I have are still valuable to me, which a lot of like the STEM like concept I've built up over time don't really apply to me anymore. And now I'm looking more for backups or things that lead me directly into careers and things that I want to do.
Do you feel like you're front-loading stress? Do you think that's what you're doing?
By front-loading, you mean like
like
the
taking
concept
on
that you're talking about?
Yeah, like taking on more now as opposed to later.
I feel like
okay, I think what I'm really asking is like, do you think you're at your max now? Like, do you think you could handle more stress without breaking?
I want to handle a different kind of stress.
Yeah.
This is like, I feel like I'm not really doing anything that I actually care about currently. And I just like, I want to switch modes. Cause like, I guess I should mind to be stressing about things that I care about too. But I'd rather be stressing about things that I like genuinely like am interested in and want to focus on like as a career, rather than stuff that just doesn't matter in the end to me. And stuff that's just gonna like go away and doesn't matter sort of crap.
Academic stress is super different from like the stress that comes from working in your passions
and living. Yeah Like it's such a weird modal shift, and I don't like, because right now, because I'm like I've been trying to do stuff like rent out an apartment, like I'm trying to take on those two different kinds of stress at the same time. Instead of just having to focus on the academic, I also have to focus on like, you know, living a life stress,
practicality,
and like and all of that like together has culminated into like way more stress than I've ever had to handle before. I'm not doubting that it could get more, but like
I mean, like, do you think you would be able to handle it if it was even more like?
God, I feel like it's these very specific situations though that are really like stressing me out.
We got different thresholds for different kinds of stress.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just asking because I'm pretty sure I hit my limit 2 terms ago.
Yeah, Did you die?
Did you notice?
I did notice.
And it was interesting. But the thing is, like, it was so weird that stress, like, being incredibly stressed out, like, doesn't even correlate to being productive. Like, just because you're super stressed out doesn't mean that you're actually getting a lot done.
That is
even though
so aggravating.
Like, trying to get a lot done is the cause of your stress, but it doesn't mean that you actually are getting it done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I had so much to do 2 terms ago, and I was... It's not even that I had, like, a huge workload. It was also just that like I was placing really high expectations on myself because the class I was taking and the project that I was trying to work on, it was really relevant. And I thought like, oh, I have to do well at this. Like I have to, this is important. This is directly correlated to what I want to do when I get out of school. And I just did a shit job.
Yeah.
Right? And I was like, well, now I'm really stressed out and my work looks like shit. Sorry, I have to put 2 tallies on my name now.
2 naughty points.
2
Nasty
naughty
points.
points.
Nasty girl.
And I was like really stressed out and I wasn't even getting that good. So it was like, wait a minute, what's wrong with this equation here?
Yeah.
And I feel like that was my max, but at the same time, like, if I was more productive, would it have been more stressful? Like, I want to be more productive than that. I don't want to believe that that's the most productive I can be.
I feel like when you're properly productive, it doesn't actually feel as stressful as like being stressed out and like producing nothing, right? Because when you're working hard and you're actually producing good content, it doesn't feel that stressful. Like it's a hard work, but it's hard work, and I guess it does put you in stress, but it's less like emotional stress and it's more just like stress to get things done.
I feel like, and I guess the satisfaction of being able to create something that you're happy with
I'm proud of,
would
yeah.
offset that a little bit. So I guess that's the happy medium that we're looking for.
The balance.
I want a happy large. Please,
Happy large.
with fries.
Oh.
Does that mean you want it to come with a toy?
Yes.
Is the guac
They have
extra?
the Mario toys at McDonald's right now.
Oh yes.
They have the Luigi one that like pops out when you push him in.
Damn, we going to McDonald's
If you
after
put
this.
Oh, that's a naughty
Yeah,
point. You
right.
said damn.
We all overate.
Oh no, I said damn. Oh no.
All right, that's
Stop
3.
saying bad words.
I got 2 naughty points.
Yeah. I don't know. See, now thinking about being stressed out has made me stressed a little bit.
I know. Like
makes
I
sense.
was kind of hesitant about doing this topic because I knew that like thinking about it too much would like stress me out.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
What do you think about taking breaks? Like,
Yes.
I mean, yes,
I love 'em.
obviously.
They're great.
I mean, like, okay, so like this summer, I'm obviously not in term. We're not in term.
Are you just not going to do any art?
No, that's definitely not gonna happen. But but like, I don't know. Do you think? Obviously, I won't put myself under the same kinds of pressure that I would be if I was still in school. But would it be better to just completely let go of everything and just, you know, completely relax for 3 months, or would it be better to keep up a level of? I mean, I don't know.
I think it depends personally.
Yeah.
Like, because you're the kind of person that also, like, thrives off of staying busy, you know? And, like, feeling like you're producing something. So, I imagine if I can't speak for you, but, like, if I were you, I'd probably want to, like, keep working on some level, even if it's not at the same level. Like, just, I don't know, like, when we were freshmen in high school and I told you to keep like the drawing journal where you drew like one new thing per day, or like I would give you little assignments, I think you need something like that, and it doesn't have to be like these huge things, but it needs to be something small enough to like keep you motivated and working.
This has just turned into advice for me.
Yeah, it's Sam. It's
Fun
the Sam
fact.
hour.
It's the Sam canceling hour.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're
Tell
your
me about
therapist. Pay us $30.
Tell me about your masa.
How about McDonald's
How
later
is your relationship
instead?
with your mother?
Oh boy. She has sewn her mouth shut.
Oh, that was such a fake laugh that we all did. Did you hear that?
I wasn't really listening because I was actually laughing. There we go. There's a real one. Yeah.
But I also think about breaks. Breaks are definitely a time to get away from the typical stress that you have. So like whatever the academic stress that you suffer from year long, like meningitis, glaucoma.
I want to smash
If you or a loved one have an eye infection or have suffered death,
Suffered death.
Centipedes?
call now.
If
In
you're
my
showing
vagina?
symptoms of
It's more
being
likely than you
dead.
think. Is that not? Nah, it's not.
Anyway, you were saying taking breaks?
Yes.
Yeah, about taking breaks. I think it's the time to do something that is, like what Simone was saying, at either like a lower stress threshold, but also something that's within your passions. So, like, while I generally have a lot of academics during the year, over the summer I'm trying to do work that's very far removed from that. So, doing some doing some research with like the bio department, and not instead of writing essays and studying and studying and writing essays and studying and writing essays and drinking coffee and studying and writing essays, doing something that's different can provide a lot more value than just sitting around eating hot Cheetos for 3 months straight. As good as that sounds.
Drinking coffee reminded me about sleeping.
Yeah.
That's a relevant topic. Yeah. How much did you sleep per night, would you estimate, for the last year?
God.
School year?
3 to 4 hours.
Hey-o, yeah. Insomnia bros!
Woo!
Too loud.
It's okay. You blew
quieter.
out the mic, but it's okay. Yeah, I think I'd average 5 per night. Or, like, because I go to sleep at 2 usually, and I have to get up at 7 to go to class, so, like...
Yeah.
5 and then sometimes 10 on the weekends.
Yeah. The way that I deal with stress is very, very bad. Like, basically what I do is, like, I don't do anything productive at all, and like when I get too stressed, I just kind of like shut down, and I also can't sleep, so I'm just like sitting there not doing anything for like 10 hours of the day. Right? And you know, it's feels awful because I'm not doing anything, but I'm also like too low on energy because of the stress to like even start.
Yeah.
So it's just like this horrible endless Ouroboros of me being a shit.
Oh, there's another naughty point.
There's an Ouroboros naughty point.
Yeah.
Naughty point. I want that on a shirt.
This could become our new thing.
It's the new
Once
thing.
our podcast becomes famous after our famous 6-month breaks between episodes.
Absolutely.
We can just...
You know, shout out to Brandon, who still checks in every Wednesday to see if we've updated.
Oh, he's so good.
I
What a
know.
fan.
God bless his heart.
All the fans are after you.
Send him a shirt.
Yeah, we'll send... If you're listening, Brandon, we're sending you a shirt.
If you're listening, this song goes to you.
It's gonna say Ouroboros naughty
point.
Ouroboros naughty point.
Yeah.
Ouroboros naughty point.
Ouroboros naughty point.
I have
Good
a
one.
problem.
We were talking about sleep.
Yes, we were.
What was I gonna say? I was gonna say something
You sleep
witty
5
and
hours,
relevant.
I sleep 4 hours.
Yeah, how about you? Would you estimate?
I think looking back at finals week, I think I saw the sunrise 6 times.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that was like almost a daily occurrence for me, where I would
Yeah.
just be like lying in bed and I'd watch the sunrise and I'd be like,
Oh, that's the sun, isn't it?
No, I wouldn't be laying in bed. I'd be sitting in a chair.
That's the thing, though. I've never pulled an all-nighter yet in my life.
In your life?
Never.
Excuse
Wow.
me?
Not
Never?
a single, not once
You?
in my
Five.
life.
I'm proud of you.
I've pulled so many
Gentle high
all-nighters.
five. I've never pulled an all-nighter. Not that I doubt that I'm capable of it. I just never gotten to the point that I needed to. So let's keep that up.
Please do. It's good for you.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's like people are really proud of it sometimes.
Don't
I'm not.
Don't let the stress culture reach you.
Yeah. I don't. That's also part of it. Like, I can understand why that would be helpful sometimes. Like, if you are...
It's not an ideal to strive to.
Yeah.
Like, I understand that how that could push people, especially people who aren't used to that kind of environment or who are trying to improve very quickly, like how that kind of environment could help them. But when it gets out of hand, it's pretty wild. Like,
Yeah.
I have friends who are just like I have this one friend who honestly just like every time I see her, she's so tired 'cause she pulls all-nighters like every day.
Yeah.
And then like sleeps in the middle of the day or something. It's wild.
It messes with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, speaking from... I feel so guilty about it because I never actually did anything productive, like, during those periods. Like, it usually was just, like, me lying in bed trying to get to sleep, but being totally unable to get to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, like, I felt like such a waste of time, but I was also too tired to do anything.
Yeah. Honestly, like, a mix of, like, stress as well as insomnia and general lack of sleep can lead to some pretty bad times. There was a point the first semester of this year where I was just sleeping 2 hours a night for about 3 months straight. And at that point, your brain just starts to feel like it's having a chemical burn going constantly.
Yeah.
And you just...
Yeah, I felt that chemical burn.
Yeah, it is awful.
Yeah.
And that led to, like, at least one attempt by me. And that wasn't a good time. But eventually leads to help. And you talk to friends about it, you talk to your doctor about it. They get you to good places. Hopefully.
No,
Yeah.
I've hit that point of like sleep deprivation where it just like feels like my brain is on like a slow burning fire all the time.
Mhm.
And it's no. It's no good. It's really bad.
You're physically in pain.
Yeah, it
How
like
little you sleep.
it physically hurts. And it's just like, and that's all due to just feeling stressed.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Would you call that your threshold then?
no.
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 You don't think that's your threshold?
No.
You think you could handle more than that and not just
The thing is,
completely
it
drained?
wasn't about the workload. It was just like, I don't know. I was just like, I think it was mostly the people I was living with, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
External factors.
Yeah. Like I could never sleep like they're I feel like such an asshole complaining about this so much.
Naughty
But, like,
point.
Naughty point.
yeah, I have the most naughty points, don't I?
Yeah, you do.
Why am I so filthy?
I'll catch up to you.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, no, and like I don't think it was specifically any of their faults. It's just like I'm really delicate when it comes to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't sleep if anyone's making any sort of noise or if there's like any light source near me. Like I just can't do it, and I wake up really easily.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that in and of itself, without like this factor of school or anything, led to a lot of stress.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it didn't even have anything strictly to do with workload, but that's still
Mm-hmm.
stress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we fully get through coping mechanisms?
No,
No.
not really.
Because
Do you
none
wanna
of
go
us
for
have good ones.
that?
I think.
Fair.
Yeah.
I like kind of learned how to sleep better eventually.
We keep trying to talk about coping mechanisms, but it keeps.
Oh, yeah. Well,
By
my
a
coping
fidget
mechanism used to be picking at my thumbs, and now I've tried to stop that by putting
Oh, yeah, me
medical tape
too.
on my thumbs.
We like have the same thing where like, and for both of us, it's like not even like.
It's not a stress thing, right? Not really. Because it's never directly correlated to how stressed I am, because sometimes I'm really stressed out and my fingers are fine, and sometimes I'm not, and it's like
It gets
really
worse when
bad.
I'm more stressed. Like if I have like finals and stuff, like they get really bad and I'm like
Yeah.
bleeding all the time. But during the summer, they usually heal a lot more. But we both pick it like we don't chew our nails. Like it's the
No.
part around
Yeah.
Critical.
the cuticle. Yeah,
It's because like part of it I'm sure is some sort of like I just don't like feeling it when it's
I
dry.
don't like feeling the hangnails.
Yeah, and so I'll just like go at it. And it's okay. I've trained all my friends. Whenever they see me do it, they'll slap my hand or they'll
Yeah.
hand me tape.
Yeah, but my mom does
so I'm
it.
trying
She
to
yells
fix
at
that
me.
now. But who knows what else it'll devolve into.
I don't know. Yeah, that used to be, and you know, that wasn't a good coping mechanism, but it still
Yeah.
is one.
I don't know. I feel like crying is underrated and extremely good sometimes.
Yeah. No, crying is definitely like it's good for you.
I wish I could
That-
cry more.
What do you mean by that? Do you feel like you can't cry, or you just
It's more
Don't-
like physically unable to a lot of the time.
that
like,
is very. I mean,
That's
why
a
would
strange concept to me.
Yeah. No, not that being a strange concept, but the fact that you want to cry more even though you physically don't have the need to.
Like 90% of the time that I'm crying, I'm totally clear-headed, and I'm like, this is really dumb. Could you just stop? Like,
Yeah.
don't you feel like that sometimes?
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't cry that often, but when I do, it like always feels like that. Like I'm like, this is so dumb. I don't even have feelings.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
it's
Sometimes I
good
used to.
stuff.
Sometimes when I got out of school, like if it's like really sunny, I just like it's like whatever, you know. Yeah. And then, but like sometimes I used to. So studio classes usually like afternoon studio classes run from 2 to 8. So sometimes I just get out of class and I just go to my car and it'd be dark outside and I'd just sit in my car and like play sad music and I would just like cry in the car a little bit, like after getting out of class. Like not for any particular reason. It's just sometimes you just like feel really bad.
It's sad o'clock.
It's sad o'clock.
I like usually don't get sad like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why I don't cry off. I mean, like, you know, I'll just feel like tired, but I don't feel like specifically sad. Like my emotion will just be tired, you know? What?
I'm agreeing.
Okay.
Just looking deeply at you.
Yeah, I know. It was a little too deeply for my liking. You looked into my soul. This is the omnipresent part of Nick.
That's what a seraphim does, you know.
Yeah.
We're
you're
great
right.
at Souls.
Mm-hmm.
We work at Nike.
That's a terrible joke. You should feel bad.
Did I get a naughty point for it?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
get a
Yeah,
point for
Puns
that.
get naughty
Honorary
points.
naughty point.
Honorary naughty.
I'm
point.
honorarily naughty. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. Also, this one time I just watched Lilo and Stitch, and then I got really sad for some reason, and I like cried myself to sleep.
About Lilo and Stitch?
It wasn't like about Lilo and Stitch, but I was just really sad after watching Lilo and Stitch for some reason.
Aww.
I cried when I watched The Jungle Book.
Yeah.
Not the original Jungle Book. I'm talking about the like weird, not so good CGI
Oh
Oh my god.
what?
one.
Why did you even watch that in the first place?
I don't remember.
I can't remember the last movie that I cried at because I usually don't.
La La Land. It was La La Land for me.
Oh, I didn't cry at La La Land.
I cried at the end where, not the end, but the part where she sings Audition.
Mm-hmm.
I cried at that part because it's
Yeah, I remember
relatable.
you said you and Lindsay were.
Yeah, Lindsay was like, we got ice cream afterwards, and Lindsay was like,
Really?
Aw.
Aw, I love Lindsay.
yeah, we were all crying, all four of us.
I would have been the only one if I went with you. I suppose.
No, Brandon was there, and he was just really confused.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
like, what's going on, guys?
Uh,
Shh, don't worry about it, Brandon.
yeah, I generally don't cry at movies.
Was there anything else you wanted to add to coping mechanisms while we're still here?
Guilty pleasures.
If you feel like crying, you should. That's all I gotta say about that.
I feel like if people knew how much I'd cry, they'd be really concerned about me, which is why I go out of my way to like only do it when no one's around or when
Yeah.
no one can see me.
Well, I think that's a generally followed practice to try and cry when no one else is around.
Yeah.
And it freaks people out, even if it's like not really that big of a deal.
It's like trust me, I just it's fine. I'm fine, really.
Yeah.
Just trust me here.
This stranger thought I was crying and like came up to me, but really I just had like the sniffles from allergy. Like she wasn't a total stranger. She's in my class and she's cool, but she was like, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And she's like, "Oh, nothing. You were just sniffling and like pacing back and forth." And I was like, "Allergies and ADHD."
That reminds me of a time back in like elementary school. I was one of those kids that just went into the middle of the lawn and then just crouched down and looked at the grass for a whole recess. And then like everyone thought I was just like sobbing my eyes out alone in the middle of the field. And I was just really bored.
Looking at the ground.
I was just really bored and like kind of daydreaming for 30 minutes at a time.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be one of those... I got in so much trouble in elementary school because I was so fidgety. Like, I would, like... There's, like, papers from when a psychiatrist, like, was watching me in elementary school because, like, my teacher was, like, worried about me or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, there's just notes about, like, me just, like, getting off of my chair and lying on the ground and, like, with my legs up in the air for no reason. And I'm just, like... What? Why? Like, I'm trying to think of why I was doing that, and I couldn't tell you.
Just looking at us doing your class at a 90-degree right angle, it's like, this is concerning.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that too if I was a teacher. I'd be like, maybe this kid needs someone to talk to them.
That Simone ain't right.
That boy ain't right.
That boy ain't right.
King of the Hill's good.
King of Hill is a guilty pleasure.
A guilty pleasure?
Okay, a regular pleasure.
Yeah, it's a genuinely good show.
My guilty pleasure is audio memes.
What?
So like, think
Like
of-
the spiders on my dick one?
spiders
Oh,
on
that's a
my
naughty
dick.
point.
2 naughty points.
That's 2 naughty points. Wow, you two are pulling ahead.
Yeah, Sam, you
You're
gotta
such
get
a
na-
clean
Sam, you gotta
child.
get naughtier.
Oh man.
It's got naughty with it, Sam.
Oh
Or
god.
like someone taking all the instruments from a gorilla song and putting them at slightly different tempos.
No, I hate that so much. I hate it so
Was it
much.
Kids with Guns?
Clint Eastwood, right? It's
Oh, no,
Clint
it's Clint
Eastwood.
Eastwood.
I hate it. It makes me so... I'm so unsettled whenever I listen to that. I'm just super on edge. I was like, no, just make the drums a little bit faster. Oh my god.
I usually don't click on... There's too many Clint Eastwood memes where I don't like trust any of them anymore, and I just don't click on them.
Mm-hmm.
And now every time I hear the original song, I think it's gonna be off tempo. Like every time.
It's such a good song.
I can't handle it.
It's got a cool music video, and I like his... I think his name is Del, the ghost that comes out of Russell and starts rapping.
Yeah.
I love Del.
I love it.
I miss him.
Get guilty.
I want him
pleasures.
back.
Oh, maybe one day.
My guilty pleasure is Fresh Off the Boat. Have you watched it before?
Oh,
I
no,
watched
Mercy
a couple
Screen
episodes of Sam. It was so dumb.
It was really dumb, but it's
But
kind of good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of endearing.
Yeah.
It's the only Asian culture thing on TV.
Yeah.
It's like
American Asian culture.
it's like relatable though sometimes.
Yeah,
You know?
once in a while.
Like
and
that
then
one-
sometimes it's just like weird.
Yeah. like okay, obvious like the
Not weird in a good way. Weird in like a what?
Yeah, like the mom is like she's
Too
sometimes
cool.
sometimes she's way too cool to be an actual
Asian
mom. But I totally understand how if they made her just a regular Asian mom, like that wouldn't
play well.
So
So
that's
American
like not
audiences.
entertaining to watch.
Yeah.
But there's so
Well,
many
it can be, but like it would be like kind of depressingly
Yeah.
mean.
I mean, there's just some parts where it's like you don't even realize that is like it just seems so normal to you that it doesn't occur to you that it's funny until you see it on the show.
Yeah.
Like that one part where their toaster breaks, so they have to go to the bank to open a checking account because you get a free toaster when you open a checking account.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly something my grandma would do, and it just didn't occur to me that would be funny to people. But yeah, I sometimes used to watch that show while I was eating lunch or something.
I mean, I can't speak on Asian dads, but like Asian moms, like it's not like a specifically mean streak, but there's just something about like deprecating against your children that like in towards other people and in public, like just publicly humiliating your kids, which is like a whole thing. And I feel like that's not really in the show as much.
Fresh
as,
Off the Boat is just the nice version of Joy
Yeah,
Luck
it's the-
Club.
Oh.
Did you read Joy Luck Club? You should read it. It's pretty good. But Joy Luck Club is just the savage real life version of Fresh Off the Boat. I feel like.
Yeah, it's like my mom was talking to my dad, and like I made some sort of like I got off the highway at the wrong time or something when we were driving back, and so she was like, you know, like talking all this trash about me like right to my face, and I just like kept looking over, and I was like, why are you doing this?
I could crash the car right now.
Yeah. Like, I was like, why do you gotta trash talk me when I'm driving? I'm giving you a ride. She was like, I have to, I'm Japanese. And I was like, alright. Forgot.
Alright, Simone, what's your guilty pleasure? Don't say Big Yoshi.
I
No,
wasn't
that's
even
all she
thinking
can
about
think of.
that. I was like genuinely trying.
Uh-huh.
I got, Nick, do you know what yours is already?
I
Do
could
you have other ones?
I could say a lot of raunchy stuff.
Okay,
Oh.
I mean,
But
let me think for a bit. Talk about your sexapades.
do I have to?
Nah. What other guilty pleasures do I have?
Does everyone have to know about
eating-
my sexapades?
Eating
That's such a
instant
good word.
ramen with milk.
What?
Yeah, that is
Oh yeah, that's
nasty.
that is weird.
But it's not that weird.
That's
Weird.
nasty.
Yeah, ramen with milk. Make sure everyone hears it.
Come
Sam,
on.
Sam eats
Okay.
ramen with milk.
Hey, not all the time, just sometimes.
Sam always eats ramen with milk.
Every single time.
Never
She
have
cracks
not.
open a ramen package and just pours the milk straight in before
Yep.
she cooks it.
Imitation chicken flavor with milk.
No,
Oh,
I
it's
usually
such
get
a
the
bad
miso
combo.
flavor.
Miso milk. There we go.
It's just like a cream sauce. I don't expect you to understand.
I'm trying to think of bad things I enjoy, but I just...
No, you just have too high an opinion
Yeah,
of
you
your
said-
own media consumption to call any of them guilty.
Yeah, you only have good taste.
Understandable.
No, I mean, like, I'm genuinely... There's gotta be... Because I'm so critical that there has to be things that I'm embarrassed of enjoying, and I can't...
What can't you listen to when your like mom's sitting next to you?
I don't think that's the way to go.
That's not the
Yeah.
right
That's
way
not
to
the
judge.
way
That's
to
like
go.
every
What
day.
would you be ashamed to tell me that you're listening or watching to? Or fuck.
Yeah,
That
but we're
doesn't
too-
work either. You're
Yeah,
my
but
other
we're
mom.
What would you
God,
be ashamed of
if there
telling
was-
me?
If there was if there's something that I was attracted to,
Oh yeah,
What would I be
yes, there you
embarrassed
go.
by?
That's a good measure.
Fall Out Boy?
Oh,
Huh?
that's not bad.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
normal.
Ooh, speedrunning. I fucking love speedrunning.
Ooh, naughty boy.
Oh, that's not that guilty though. It's just
It's
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 fun.
nerdy though.
Oh.
I feel like you shouldn't have. I feel okay. So
Maybe-
related to stress, you should not listeners, not viewers, watching the microphone. You should not have guilty pleasures. Fully enjoy everything that you love because you're worth it.
Yay!
Aw.
Positivity, Simone.
Yeah.
That's -1 naughty point
Yeah, okay, I can take
for
that.
being such a good person.
I can
Oh,
tell you
but,
100% that my guilty pleasure is playing League of Legends now.
Oh, nice.
You are so. How did this happen to you? What have you become?
Chelsea.
It's Chelsea's fault. Well, I don't know what it is about the 1 week before term starts, but whenever I move down, because I usually give myself a week to get settled in, the 1 week before term starts, I am a complete fucking wreck. Like, I have no idea what the deal is, but I'm just really, it's like, part of it is like psyching myself out for the term that's about to start, and then feeling like I'm wasting my time doing nothing, but, like, Chelsea was like, hey, chill out, just come play League of Legends with me, and, yeah. And now we play League of Legends together sometimes. It's pretty
ridiculous.
Aw,
good. It's pretty good.
that really gets me going.
League of
I'm
Legends.
still trying to
No.
think of.
Why not a little bit? Once in a while. That's like a
Yeah.
blue moon.
Despite my tirade about fully enjoying whatever you like, I'm still trying to come up with something that I'd consider a guilty pleasure, and I'm just.
You're coming up blank. What were you gonna say, Nick?
World record Tetris speedruns.
Oh.
Just,
That's so awesome, though.
they get me, oh my god. They get me going so hard.
I know.
Like, it just makes my
Have
heart
you ever
race.
seen a professional Puyo Puyo player?
Oh, they go so fast.
I know!
It's amazing.
I want to play Puyo Puyo so bad.
What is that?
Puyo Puyo Pop is like Tetris, but with blobbies.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's about colors instead of lines.
I
Yeah.
see.
Just seeing people work that fast just makes me break out in sweat.
Have you ever? Okay, one of the things I just love doing. It's not even a guilty pleasure anymore. I just love watching, like, things that I have absolutely no idea about, and people are super obscure and technical about it. Like, have you ever?
like that Super Mario 64 video where he's like talking about the half A press.
Hey,
Have
guys.
you ever watched competitive chess commentators?
Oh.
That
You
sounds like
don't
a riot.
understand a word they're saying. Oh my god, every single, like, you have no clue, because every single, like, move in chess is basically a move that's already been done before, and every way the board's been set up is basically something that's already been done before, and
Yeah.
they all have names, and these commentators are just talking about, and they do like, oh yeah, you know, if he had done this half Raymond whatever or whatever, it's like, and you're just watching it and you're like, oh my god, I have no idea what's going on right now, but damn, this guy is into it.
Yeah.
I have a guilty pleasure.
Oh,
Yeah.
go for it.
My guilty pleasure is watching movie reviews from reviewers I like of movies I've never seen and agreeing with them. That is my guilty pleasure.
That was good.
Oh,
do you
man.
get into fights on the internet afterwards about the movies you've never seen?
Generally, no.
That's good.
I try not to actually. I'll agree with them, and I will, like, you know, all that stuff. But, like, I won't actively seek out, like, fights with
Yeah,
people
yeah.
over them. That's too much.
Yeah. My guilty pleasure is just competency porn. Right?
Competency
Just like
porn.
watching people who are really good at something
things,
do what they're really good
things that they're
at.
good at, yeah.
It's wonderful.
My guilty pleasure is respect women memes.
Wholesome memes.
Just like seeing those pictures of like pro wrestlers chugging respect women juice.
Aw.
So good.
It's so cute.
Yeah.
Wholesome memes are my guilty pleasure.
There's no reason to feel guilty about wholesome memes.
It's just my pleasure.
They're just pleasurable.
It's just pleasure.
They should be unhindered by rank or
Rank.
quality. The
Yeah.
concept of quality.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Alright, is there anything else about stress we want to talk about before we close it out?
So speaking of rank, guilty pleasure is ranking my friends.
What?
In relation to how friendly they are to me,
Oh,
you know?
where am I?
Like, do you rank, like, your best friends to, like, your slightly less than best friends to your acquaintances?
No.
And
This
it's
is
like,
I
new
also-
to me, but go on.
But I also have like 5 friends total. So, you know, it's kind of hard for me to pick and choose.
As an introvert, what?
Yeah.
As someone who has way too many people I know, and way too many friends on Facebook to keep
What
track
level
of.
am I on?
You're high level. Come on, please.
How high?
You're very high level.
That's not an answer.
No.
No, what? No, like
You've dug your own grave here, Nick.
This is why it's a guilty pleasure.
You have these sections, right? Okay,
Yeah,
sorry.
I
That
do.
was the noise of
Okay.
me clearing out the remote control. So there's rank 1.
So draw a line.
Can there be more than one person in...
Yes.
Okay.
There can be more than one person in each rank, and like, okay, my rank 1, a top rank, absolutely.
Are your friends gonna listen to this?
I no, they are.
We can turn off the microphone.
No, keep it going.
We'll bleep it all.
I want everyone
We'll
to
bleep all
judge me.
We'll just leave the entire thing in just one long beep.
Let's see. Because both me and Kathleen constructed one for each of us.
Yeah.
I know my top rank for sure. Those are. Mwah,
Moi.
mwah. I've known them for so long. I
Yeah.
love them. Mwah. They're always there. Who else is in that top rank though? That's hard. So I'm trying to think of people from college. It's like, can I really still play?
Simone's
there?
just disappointed that she's not in that rank.
I'm not even.
I mean,
I don't
like,
care.
I know I'm not ranked as highly as Sam in like your levels.
Yeah.
Like,
Even though we talk to each other once every 2 months, and whenever we do, we just pretend like we have been talking for the last 2 months.
I mean,
there's
exactly.
no
Like,
reason
that's
to
exactly
not.
how
Exactly.
our relationship works.
Right? You also rank your friends, just not
But, like,
consciously.
I don't. It's not like a thing where I think about this friend is higher than the other. I just know them better, or
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
closer to them without really like. It's not a rank of goodness. You heathen!
I've played too many multiplayer games as a child. Okay. This is what happens when you raise your child on competitive games.
So, well, I do lotus position on a stool.
Yeah, I think most of my hometown boys, like including you, including Sam, are like the rank 2. Like the majority of my good friends are in rank 2. Rank 1 is like a special place. That's hard to get access to.
What level? What people do I know would be rank 3?
Rank 3.
Yes.
I think is rank 4 or 5.
Whoa! Deep in the rabbit hole.
I never talked to him.
Yeah, me neither.
I never talked to him, and anytime I hug him, he's scared.
He's just scared in general
I
all the
know.
time.
And
It's
then-
not just you.
And then he keeps on making sex jokes, and I'm like, hey, I know about that subject. And it's not a joke
Let me
anymore.
tell you, my friend, he does not. That is why he makes those jokes.
I know, and then it stops being a joke, and then he gets uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He's just always uncomfortable, okay?
He's rank 3. Maybe.
I see him once a year at his New Year party, and that's
Yeah,
it.
that's it. But he's such a good person, I can't put him lower, you know?
No, I don't really know him that
He's the one
well.
that used to be short and then just shot up, but he still looks exactly the same. Except he's really tall.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
I got a lot
He
of.
seems
lot
like a
of-
nice guy, but I never talked to him.
I have a couple. I have like maybe 1 or 2 people from Reed rank 1. One person at Reed rank 1. Who's lowest rank? Let me think.
Wait, is that just
I
an
mean,
enemy?
that would just be like a non-friend.
Yeah.
A stranger. Is the opposite of a friend a stranger or an enemy?
Do you feel like you have enemies?
I know people who would think of me as an enemy.
But do you have an enemy? Who do you consider your enemy?
Like, okay, going back to guilty pleasures, I have a guilty pleasure. And my guilty pleasure is shitting on this one dude from school.
Yes.
Oh wait.
Is it that guy? Is
Yes.
Okay.
What's his
I'm not
name?
gonna say his name because people at school might know. But I just
God, you're so lucky that
We're
I don't
gonna-
remember his name.
we're gonna
Oh, I remembered it, but
you're not gonna say it. We might have a
Yeah.
longer podcast about this later because the reasons that I hate on him don't have that much to do with him. It's more about like just people in general that annoy me. But it's just sometimes it's just fun.
when do we get to do our annoying people podcast?
Oh, we can do that now.
We could theoretically. Anyways, but
No,
yeah,
let's do it
he's
later.
Not,
That
he's not
deserves
my
its own
enemy
thing.
because I
Yeah.
don't even know him that well. I don't know him well enough at all to hate him, and I'm sure he's a nice guy. It's just like aspects of his personality annoy me. And yeah, we like to make jokes at his expense all the time. It's kind of bad.
Yeah.
So
That annoys me.
yeah, but I don't have any real enemies. Although I'm pretty sure hates me, but he
Oh,
hates me
right.
on principle, like because he had gov with me, and all he knew was that I was like a snobby asshole, and he like took that image of me and like ran with it all the way, and
Yeah.
he like likes to shit on me at like to David. But I love hearing about. I'll show you all the screenshots. I'll show you the screenshots of it later.
Please, dude.
They're pretty incredible.
Give
All
me
the
those
things he said
receipts.
about me. But yeah, I don't have enemies. No, I don't think so.
Trying to think if anyone hates me. I know that there are, but I don't know who they are. Come out, you cowards! I'm ready. Fight me.
I think
far
that's.
off land, someone suffers a heart attack.
Do you want to move on to one cool things?
Yeah.
One
Well,
cool
thing.
three cool things.
Three
this
cool
time.
things today. As usual, we'll have our guest go first. Nick, would you like
Ooh.
to share one cool thing with us?
So I'm thinking exactly of. There's one video in particular, and if you've watched Carl Sagan's Cosmos or anything by Carl Sagan, there's a particular tone to the episodes that he does of like,
Yes.
look at this beautiful planet.
It's very ethereal.
Yeah, it's like angelic, and it's this video called The Meat Planet, where someone creates like a completely fake 7-minute episode of Cosmos for this meat planet, where the rivers run red with blood. There are great bubbling continents of beef and pork and
You've never
flesh.
sent me this.
And it's
You'll have to
beautiful.
send me a link, Nick, so I can
It's
put
so
it in the
beautiful.
show notes.
It's so beautiful. I love it so much.
Reminds me of that scene in Off
Just-
where like he's just riding on the river of meat in a little plastic duck pedalo.
It reminds me of that one short story that was written by, it might have been George Orwell, I don't remember, one of the science fiction writers, where aliens discover
Asimov.
humans. It was Asimov,
Yeah.
where aliens discover humans and they're just really confused because the idea of talking meat is completely foreign to
Oh,
them.
yeah.
You've read that one, right? I'll put a link to that in the show notes as well. It's wonderful.
That's really good.
Simone, do you want to do your one cool thing?
My one cool thing is a video of a VCR recording itself being poked and prodded by a human being. It's basically they hooked up the VCR so that it could like essentially watch itself being like taken apart, and it's really weird. And it has like all of these like it'll get all glitched out sometimes when they touch something or like I don't know. It's really neat to watch. It's cool. It's exactly my kind of thing.
Have you ever had surgery where they like put a mirror in front of you or a video recording in front of you so you can watch yourself?
I've like
As
They
you-
do
Never
that?
had
That's
surgery.
allowed?
Sometimes. I've had an endoscopy once where the TV screen was like in front of me as I was falling unconscious.
That's wild.
And I saw like the camera approaching me.
I saw myself get an ultrasound, but that's like, you can't, honestly, when you're looking at an ultrasound screen, you can't see a single
Yeah.
thing. You have no idea what any of the
Yeah.
static is.
Yeah.
I've like
I've had that too.
never had any sort of surgery whatsoever, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I got the conditions.
Anyways, there's a link to the VCR recording itself being taken apart in the show notes.
And being dropped from high heights.
Yeah.
Oh, is it watching itself being dropped from high
Yeah,
heights?
like there's a camera on it, and then
Wow.
that camera's hooked up to itself being recorded, and you can see all the static lines as
Yeah.
it, like, you touch it.
I could imagine like a really freaky VR incident where like there's like a camera setup of someone like running through a room and they're seeing themselves running in third person. Imagine how hard that would be. I really want. That sounds so spooky.
Make it.
You
And then someone like
broke her.
comes
I'll
up.
make it with you. I'll do
That'd be
the
so
design.
fun. That'd
yeah.
be so fun. Terrifying.
Get back into computer programming, boy.
What are computers?
I don't know.
Anyways,
Anyways, moving on.
one cool thing this week is a incredible webcomic called Steve Lichman.
Yes.
Nick's read it before.
Yes.
It's so good. It's basically a play on every D&D trope and like.
Is this the extremely not safe for work one?
No, it's not that one.
Okay.
It's a different one. Basically, it's so good. I can't really explain it very well in words.
It's like a very depressed lich. Working
Yeah.
his like average job as a lich.
Yeah.
And kind of just generally hating it.
Yeah. He's like trying to die, but like none of the guys who come and kill him are virgins, so they can't kill him. Anyways, they recently kickstarted it to be printed, to be like printed and bound. I think the Kickstarter's over now, you can only read the first like 20 pages online. But it's really, really
Are
awesome.
those 20 pages really, really good?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I wish
He's such a good writer. It's like crazy.
He should sell the but I guess
Yeah.
if he sold the PDF, people would leak it like instantly.
Yeah. But the 20 pages that there are online are just really, really funny. So, yeah, I'll put a link to that in the show notes. You can check it out.
Okay. I wish a virgin would kill me.
Hey.
Hey!
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up for this week. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us
Subscribe.
That is
Don't do any. Just subscribe if you have any of those issues. With us.
We're in the iTunes store, and you can subscribe by RSS. If you have questions, comments, or concerns, you can email us at negspacepodcast@gmail.com. Yes, email us your guilty pleasures.
Ooh, that's
Ooh, yeah.
That's just asking
that's a
for
risky,
trouble, isn't it?
Yeah,
no,
you're
that's
right.
it's good to get trouble. That's how you get attention. Ooh, I have a question.
Oh, yeah?
Did we ever learn how to manage stress?
Nope.
No. All right, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Show notes are at samanthashay.com/negative-space. Have a good night, you guys.
Good night.